Hey, 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 it's your girl, Tamika Hall here, and you're locked into the Tamika Hall Radio Show and the Tamika Hall Live Experience. I'm so excited because I have author, poet, she's like an educational wealth of knowledge. I have Angela Hill that is joining me tonight, and I'm so excited to introduce her to my world, and I'm excited to be jumping into her world. Angela, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Tamika?
I'm excited. I'm really excited to have you here. And like I was saying off air, I'm excited that we're finally getting an opportunity to meet for the first time ever.
Yes.
Technology is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's really a beautiful thing. And I think it's been what, about 3 years that we've
Yes.
known each other. So yeah, this is a great thing that we're finally able to connect. So I'm bringing you on here because we're going to be talking about your book, Unite. But before we get there, let's just get some background. You have a vast educational background. You know, you have a master's in education and you specialize in special education. So where did your love for that come from? Because as an educator myself, special education, you have to love that part of the field. You really have to love it.
Well, it actually started from when I got a position at the Benedictine School in Ridgely,
Yes.
Maryland, as a one-on-one. And that, watching those kids learn and get an education, it really opened my eyes because most people think children with intellectual disability can't learn.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids can, but they also learn in different ways. Some can learn education. Some can go as far as maybe just knowing how to write their name.
Mm-hmm.
Then we teach them social skills. We taught them how to make up their bed, how to put food in the microwave to heat it up for themselves. So that's where my love came in at.
And you know, I'm very familiar with the Benedictine School. I actually, a long time ago, used to work at St. Martin's House. So yeah, very familiar with the Benedictine School. I have a lot of family that worked there. And you're right. And at one point, I was very connected because one of my good friends, he actually ran one of the houses for the Benedictine School. So I got to know some of the residents on a deeper level. And it really is a beautiful thing to be able to see them, you know, the things we take for granted, like tying our shoe, like learning how to even cook something. We take that for granted. And it's a beautiful thing when they are excited to be so independent with little things that we take for granted every day. So with us in the middle of COVID-19, I mean, what advice do you have to parents that are sitting at home wanting to rip their hair out because now they're in a position of being teachers?
One, think outside the box.
Yeah.
Really think outside the box. I mean, you could help your children, but being an educator, I go on Zoom with some of the other teachers. And like one teacher said, parents, I'm glad you're there to help your child, but let them do the learning on their own. They learn from mistakes. So we don't mind the parents being there, but you're not going to be with them when they go back into the classroom, when this thing is all over with. But think outside the box, be creative, draw, paint, do whatever. Go outside. You could walk around in your own yard.
Yeah.
Don't cost much.
And you know, and you're right about that. And one of the things that, because I was teaching when all of this kind of stuff broke, and then I'm not teaching anymore. But one of the things I was actually telling some of my parents is, I'm like, we're not expecting you to actually even teach them the work. You know, we're not asking you to do that. We're asking you to make them do it. Like, sit them down, have a schedule, keep them on a schedule so that they remember, you know, that there is work that needs to be done and things like that. But it's like, we're really not asking parents to step into the role of being a teacher. And I think a lot of parents are driving themselves crazy because they're trying to teach, and that's not really what's even needed, you know.
And what the parents don't realize, it's broken down. You don't have to do it all at once. You go in for the live Zoom, because as teachers, we want to teach them the content that they need to learn. But when it's over with, they can do the work and go back in and do the work. And we're also recommending no more than 2 hours. If you're on there longer than 2 hours, get off. Don't, because one, it can hurt your eyes and damage. your eyes.
That's really good information to know, because that wasn't even something that I know I was even told. I've kind of been putting my children on the little increments anyway, just because they get antsy. And I have teenagers, and a preteen. So I've been kind of doing that anyway. So it's good to know from somebody who has a master's, y'all. She has the background on just how we can do it. So I noticed that we actually share something in common. We both have a degree in theater. And I didn't know that. Yeah. I got my degree from Washington College. And so when you're talking about being creative and thinking outside of the box, I'm like, there goes that theater degree. If we don't learn anything else with the theater degree, we know how to be creative and learn in different ways. So, so talk to us about your love for the theater.
Oh, it started when I turned 12 years old. I was watching a Raisin in the Sun, not the old school Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
The old one, the black and white one. And I was like,
the one with Sidney Poitier in there.
Yes. Yeah. And that did it for me. And I said, Mommy, I want to be an actress. I want to be an actress. I went to the Wilmington Playhouse. At that time, it was still underlined with racism.
Ooh.
I was the only person that was Black, or of color, I should say, in the group. And the man gave me the role of an adult to learn for the Chalk Garden that starred Natalie Wood in it.
Yes.
And he said, I want you to be the maid. I didn't think nothing of that. But the thing was, he was so surprised that I took that role, learned the lines, and he told my mom, she's the best I ever seen. She only did one thing wrong. She turned wrong. But when I corrected her, she did fine. So I was like, okay. But when we kept calling, when are you opening back up? When do I need to be there to put this play on? We were getting no answers. We would just say, we're closed. So me, who is a Gemini.
Me too.
I got angry. And I said, I don't want to go back. I'm done. But looking back, I wish I had gone back just to prove him that I'm not a quitter. I don't give up. You're not stopping me. But again, we learn from our mistakes.
Wow. It's amazing, because I never even expected that to be, part of the storyline. I mean, you've written this book called Unite, which is all about community, overcoming issues of racism and different things like that. And I had no idea that was something that was in your background. And, I find myself getting angry. It's like he gave you the role of the maid as a slap in the face. And he probably expected you to not even do it. He probably just thought, oh, we're going to give her this role of the maid and she's going to go away and not even come back. But so you still made an impact. And I
yes.
on that.
And that experience taught me when I went to Dell State, because that's where I graduated from with my bachelor's in theater. There was a professor, Dr. Kenyatta.
I was going to ask you if that was your professor. Yes.
Yes, Dr. Kenyatta. He told us, doesn't matter how big or small the part is, it's how you play it. That stuck with me because my second incident, I grew up in Maryland, went to Queen Anne's County. There was the Tread Avon Players in Easton.
Yes.
And I found out, I went to audition for them. The president, he wanted me to have the leading role of the woman in Dial M for Murder. One of the people on the board, she said, no, nobody Black in that time frame was a millionaire. I said, excuse me, Madam C.J. Walker, that's just one.
Right.
So remember, in Wilmington, I said I wanted to quit. She told me I can be stage manager. I said, okay, I'll be stage manager. Wow. Then the director needed an assistant director, so he asked me to help him with that. I said, okay. Little did she know, by the time we put the play on, guess who was on stage?
Come on.
I was on stage. one of the actors on stage with a minor part. And the woman who wrote the play was there. And she wanted to meet me.
Wow.
And when she met me, she said, you did the character the way I heard it in my head when I wrote it.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we're really learning a lot here. You know, on the Tamika Hall Radio Show, I love bringing folks that can kind of just give us some life lessons. And one of the ones that you said to us is, it doesn't matter how small the role is, just shine anyway. And I say to people all the time that when it's your time, God is going to make you shine. And a lot of times you don't have to do anything about it. Sometimes you do just have to sit back, relax, and he'll bust the doors open for you.
Yes.
And I know I would have given anything to see her face when you were on stage, met the playwright, and the playwright was like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. I wish I could have seen her face. Did you ever talk to the person on the board after that? Did she know that all this stuff went on?
No, when she saw it, she didn't say nothing, but she was red. She was upset. But it was okay because after that, another woman who directed a play there, and it was Lillian Tomlin's Intelligent Signs. And I was on stage, but guess what? Another Black person came. So it was two of us on stage.
Nice. Oh, I know. She was like, they are taking over. That daggone Angela came and now they're taking over. I love it. I love it. So talk to us. How did you turn your love from, with theater and things like that? How did you then parlay that into your love of poetry?
Always like reading poetry. And the person I really enjoyed was Dr. Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Then when I got to Dell State, there was Nikki Giovanni.
Yes.
Then I learned about Claude McKay.
Uh-huh.
Then it was Langston Hughes. And I was like,
the beauty of words. Yeah.
Yes. And I knew I was trying to write poetry in high school. It wasn't that good in high school, but as time progressed, I didn't stop. I just said, I'm going to write this. Well, let me rewrite it. And then it just started flowing.
I love it.
Started flowing. So I said it was nothing but God.
So when you were ready to pen your first book, you decided to do poetry. Did you have anybody that in your ear that was like, yeah, don't do that? And if so, how did you combat that?
To be honest, I really didn't. I had people in my life, because I used to work at Silver Lake Treatment Center in Middletown, Delaware, where we worked with kids who had disabilities. And I would say, look what I wrote. They would read it. That's nice. And they would encourage me to keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And I wrote one piece that's in my first book, Creativity.
Yeah.
They liked that so much because it helped the kids that they put it on a poster board real big and high, and they set it in the lobby. So whenever people come in, they see that, and then they put kids who drew or whatever, or wrote poems themselves. So
I love it. Now, do you have a copy of your latest book in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I want you to be thinking, yes, Unite. I want you to be thinking about what the favorite poem is, because I would love for you to read it for us on air so that we can do that. But yeah, talk to us about Unite. And folks, spoiler alert, I had the opportunity to work with Angela on her book, and probably one of the most fun book covers I've ever designed. And I was just so excited that you loved it.
Yes.
I designed it and I gave you a couple of options, but I was like, I really hope she chooses this one. And so I was really excited about that. So talk to us about your latest project, Unite.
Well, Unite came about because during church, when we all was able to go and gather together, I wrote 2 poems. It was Black History Month, and I wrote them. And I was like, that gives me a thought process. Then my cousin at her church had what she called Unity Day.
Oh.
And so I did a poem called Unity. Today is Unity Day. And I said, you know what, I'm reading this poem, but I wish we all would get together. I'm tired of seeing us getting shot. And then we go to march, Black Lives Matter, but then we're killing our own selves as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this gang against this gang, and most of the black gangs, they're killing each other. Then you got the people selling drugs, and they'll sell them to whoever pays, but you're killing us still. You're killing us, and we're hollering Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black Lives Matter,
Mm-hmm.
but what are we doing as a community?
Come on. Yeah.
What are we doing as a community to say enough is enough? So Unite came about, and then I told my son, I said, but I wanted to stand for something, just not say Unite. And then I kept thinking and thinking. I said, I got it. And he said, what? Unique, necessary individuals together evolving, because we have to evolve as
Absolutely.
individuals
So what did
and
your
then
son
come
say?
together.
Because I'm sure your son is used to you like creating acronyms. What was his reaction?
He said, I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Nice. That's good, Mom. Okay, Mom, you got that. You got that. I love it. I love it. And so Unite actually is a beautiful collection of your poetry. And what I love about it, it's not, it isn't just one dimensional. You really do come, from many different angles. You're not only talking about unity, but you do bring elements of God in there as well. So it's clear that God is the unifying piece with everything. What are your hopes for people that pick up the book Unite?
When they read this, we can break that, as I call it, the slave mentality
Mm-hmm.
that has been in our culture, embedded in our culture. We can break it
Mm-hmm.
for once and for all. But we can't do that until first we evolve as people and then come together as one.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you said that really struck me is that we will holler about Black Lives Matter, but they have to matter to us within our own community as well. Because unfortunately, a lot of the killings that happen, it happens within our own people. And so it's like, yeah, they matter. So let's stop killing each other. Let's stop doing all of that.
Right.
And I really loved that element in the book. And I love the fact that it wasn't just about race. You even talked about just unifying, as a body of Christ. All of that is important as well. So it wasn't just a Black Lives Matter type of reading. You really come from so many different angles. So talk to us, or actually share with us one of your favorite poems out of the book.
Well, one of my favorite poems out of the book is In My Veins. And that came about when I was writing my first book that you helped publish. I found out, and this was like a year or two after my father had died of cancer, that my great-great-grandmother was Cherokee, full-blood Cherokee. And I was like, wow, okay. I wish I had known this years ago. And then my great-great-grandfather was West Indies.
Wow.
And in the Cherokee culture and stuff, you're really not supposed to go outside your tribe.
Right.
But they did. And so I have Cherokee, West Indies, and then on my mom's side, the African, and I found out Cherokee's on that side too.
So you just have strong personalities 360 all the way around. Just strong personalities. Yes. You came from good stock. I love it.
Yes. And coming from a Christian background.
Yes.
And when I say Christian, I don't want to say religion, because that's something totally different, but a Christian where you show love. You got to be able to show love. And that's the key.
I love it. I love it.
But my favorite,
veins, let us hear it.
Okay. In my veins. What flows through my veins? My DNA, my genetic makeup. That's what flows through my veins. But all you can see is the color of my skin. What flows through my veins? Cherokee, Seminole, Belize, West Indies, African, and Irish. That's what flows through my veins. But all you can see is the color of my skin. What flows through my veins? I was born here, raised here, and I live here. If you cut me, do I not bleed red? That's what flows through my veins. All you see is the color of my skin. But guess what? I am American.
Come on. So That's powerful. That's powerful. With everything that's happening in our country right now, what, I almost can't even formulate the words because I feel like, well, first of all, I don't think that racism ever went away. I think now what's happening is we have great social media and people are shining a light on it.
Yes.
But what I think has come about is this confidence from folks that they feel like they can actually express their racism. What are your thoughts when you see people, spewing racial slurs and different things like that? Like, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, it's coming out now because, I'm going to say it, you have a president who says whatever comes to his mind. He hasn't learned when to speak and when not to speak. He just speaks whatever comes to his mind. And those people were in an underline for so long. They were to the line, but not crossing over it. Now they're crossing over it. And I tell people, I'm going to be honest, I'd rather for them to show me than for me not see it and not know. But when you see it and you know it, now we got to come up with a solution as a people. What can we do? Because it's going to be more. Will we ever get rid of it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has that mindset.
I agree. And it's just, and you're right, a lot of it was just really underneath the surface. And now people are just crazy. They're crazy. They just say whatever they want to say. And, thank God for Jesus that he keeps us in our place when it's necessary, even when people step outside of theirs. So Angela, how can people connect to you? How can they buy the book? How can they bring you in to come and speak? Because I know that you're available to do speakings about the topics you write about and everything. So how can people connect to you?
One, they can get the book off of Amazon. I also have my email address in the book. It's on the last page, page 46, where they can email me if they want me to come and speak. Now, if a church wants me to come and speak, I will tell them you have to talk to my pastor because I am an exhorter. So I just can't go to a church without letting her know what's going on.
Yeah.
But just email me. I'm willing to come. I'm willing to do the spoken word. I believe this is where God has me at right now, to encourage people. That's what the word exhorter means.
I love it. And you're encouraging us. And I first of all, I love the book anyway. I'm excited because I had a bird's eye view into the book, but to actually be able to watch you and to hear you recite one of your poems was just really powerful. And it really warmed my heart for real. Folks, I want you to make sure that you are connected to Angela Hill. Do not forget the name, Angela Hill. Go rush to Amazon, download her book either on Kindle, get it in paperback. And the title of the book is Unite. Unite. That is exactly what we need to do. Angela, thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Oh, you're welcome so much. And my email is angelahill5@comcast.net.
angelahill5@comcast.net. See, the thing is, I've typed it so much over the past couple months, I have it committed to memory, but I wasn't sure if you wanted me to put it out there. So angelahill5@comcast.net, everybody. Please connect with Angela. Let her know that you heard about her right here on the Tamika Hall Radio